Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1980 Detroit Lions alternate history. This is our Monday morning quarterback show. We're going to take a look back at our victory over the Los Angeles Rams, and then we will look ahead to Week 7 versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Real quick, before we get started with this review show here, a reminder that we do have a contest that is going to take place tomorrow. You still have a chance to get in on it. That is a contest where I'm giving away the 3 sections of a 1983 Topps Rack Pack. And at the end of this video, there will be a link to that video. Just follow the instructions there if you want to get in on it. There could possibly be up to $7,500 worth of cards in that Rack Pack. So, we did win yesterday's ball game, and last night, as I was watching the Philadelphia Eagles Dallas Cowboys game, I went back and I was watching the Los Angeles Rams game here, and at the end of it, when we scored the touchdown with 4 seconds left to win, I was not really that overly excited, and I think part of the reason for that is I've come to feel like with the sports mogul franchises that it's all set up to get you excited for possibly winning, but it never actually comes through. And I was proven otherwise yesterday. We did not play a good game. We probably should have lost because the Rams lost their kicker on the kickoff for the entire game. So the Rams missed 2 field goals, which would have gave them the victory. And it would have kept us within the 4.5 points, though, if we had to deal with the point spread being at 4.5. So we scored the touchdown, and we won the ball game. And if it wasn't for Gary Danielson slinging the ball around for a season-high 369 yards, I think we would have for surely lost the game. We only managed 43 yards rushing. We did barely win the time of possession, and that's with not, running the ball. So I felt pretty good about the victory, but I was just so shocked, I guess, that we completed that pass with 4 seconds to go to win the ball game, that I couldn't get enthused over it. So because of the victory, we'll take a look here at the contest for the Billy Sims autograph jersey. Don was the lone winner, and he is now within 1 game of Sean at World's Worst Gamer. He's 4-2. John hung another loss on him. He's actually lost every week since week 1. And Kent did not enter last week's contest. So I assume that he'll get back into it. But regardless, Sean at World's Worst Gamer is up 1 game on Don T. So, okay, let's take a look at the Lions. We did suffer an injury on defense, but we'll take a quick look at our team here. Here's Gary Danielson. Look at that. He's got 8 touchdowns and 10 interceptions now. He's actually turning it around a little bit after having that great game yesterday, a career high in completion percentage, almost 1,500 yards passing through 6 games. So he's been pretty solid. He did have 1 game where he got injured, and we had to bring in Eric Hipple for the second half. But otherwise, he's been there throughout, and I feel like I'm getting a better handle on what he's capable of and and when to use the pass. All right, and then we have Billy Sims. He had his worst game. I don't think he even had 40 yards in yesterday's game rushing. He's sitting at 599 yards. He's averaging 100 yards a game practically, but his yards per carry is just over 4. 8 touchdowns. He does have 5 fumbles, but he has not had a fumble in the last 2 starts. So that's been good, and he's got 9 receptions out of the backfield. So he's been okay as a check down receiver. And then we have Dexter Bussey. He didn't provide much to us yesterday. I feel like later this week I might try to work him more into the offense. He's such a good fullback, and he deserves to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield more, maybe more so than Rick Kane. So I'll see if I can't switch that up a little bit. Okay, and then we have David Hill, our tight end, David Hill. He had his best reception, his best reception of the season. He had an 8-yard completion in yesterday's game. So that was pretty solid. Only 12 receptions and 25 targets. That is not going to get it done. Freddie Scott is the man. He had the big touchdown. I almost didn't go to him. I almost went to David Hill with the game on the line, and I took an extra second to think about it. And when we're only basically a one-man offense, that's Freddie Scott. We had to go to him in that situation, and he came through. He's got 49 receptions, 863 yards, and 5 TDs. A solid game from Leonard Thompson yesterday. He's up to 211 yards receiving, 17 receptions. And then we're looking at our offensive line here. We have started this Wally Pesuit for 2 games, and he's not really getting it done. We have faced teams with better rush defenses, but when we run up the gut, we're not even averaging 3 yards. So maybe we go back to Willie Parker, and although he is not as good with the rating, at least we were getting somewhere with Willie Parker. Also, Willie Parker had 4 penalties against him. We didn't even have 1 penalty at all in yesterday's game. You take a look here at our backups. I did go through and to check to see if we have anybody who deserves to be replaced in the lineup anywhere. And no one's ratings are higher than anyone who's already in the starting lineup. So Mike Freedy, a great game yesterday. You see Jesse Thompson had 1 catch. And there's really not much else to mention there. I think Rick Kane got 1 rush yesterday. Otherwise, not a lot to see. Let's take a look at the defense. Prentice McRae, who's been really good for us at safety, is injured for 4 games. He's our first Lion to be injured for multiples. So we just moved Jimmy Allen back into the safety role. He already had 4 starts at safety this year. And then we swapped him out to get Ray Oldham in there, and now they're working together. So, we can live with that. Both of them are still very highly rated and pretty decent guys to have in the secondary. Everybody else here, you're not really getting anything great out of them. Bubba Baker did get a half sack with William Gay. William Gay in 2 starts has been pretty solid for us. I feel pretty good about having him in the defensive end position, even though he's a defensive tackle by nature. We switched him over. It lowered his rating, but it was still higher than who we had in there. Mike McCoy almost had an interception in yesterday's game. That would have been awesome. But we ended up winning anyway. John Mendenhall, he's crushing it. He doesn't have any sacks yet, but he has had a couple of stops for a loss. Bubba Baker, not much. I mean, his rating is really low, but he does have 4 sacks, most on the team. Charlie Weaver, our best linebacker, overall leading the team with 41 tackles. Darrell Luce had a good game. Stan White, we hardly ever mention him. James Hunter. There's Luther Bradley. I know some of you like to look at the stats real quick. We have not had an interception in like 3 games. So there's our main players there. Let's take a look at the special teams. These are special players. Eddie Murray, he's the rookie. 20 for 20 in points after the touchdown. And you see overall he is 70% now. He was 1 for 1 yesterday. I forget what the distance was. I want to say it was 40 to 49 range, but I can't remember. But he has been solid. And here is Tom as I clicked on the leaders. There we go. We just have both conferences put together here. Best rated quarterback right now is Kenny Anderson. Awesome card. I love these helmets without the Bengals name on there because Topps did not have the football license back then. 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 927 yards. Gary Danielson outpassing Kenny Anderson, but much better rated. Oh, look at that. 346 yards rushing. Was Henderson a rushing quarterback? I guess he was. Look at this. 1,800 career yards. Jim Hart, Jaws, Vince Evans. I guess that was a good choice for the Bears, choosing Vince Evans over Mike Phipps. There's Doug Williams. We're going to face him momentarily up. The first video for the season, not week one, but the setup video, that Brian Sipe was the MVP of the 1980 season in real life. So believe it or not, the Browns had an MVP. That was Brian Sipe. Rushing yards, it is no longer Billy Sims. His last 2 weeks of struggles has dropped him down to third as Liddell Mitchell, who just ran roughshod all over us. Now is 99 rushes for 633 yards and a 6.39 average. But Wilbert Montgomery is leading for the Eagles. There's Walter Payton, Tony Dorsett, some big names there. Check out my sacks. It's Rulon Jones, 6.5 for Denver in a rookie year. And L.C. Greenwood, Jacob Green. There's Al Bubba Baker. Mark Gastineau of the New York Sack Exchange. Sacks weren't even a stat in 1979, but he's got 4 this year. That's cool. Receiving yards, Freddie Scott, of course, way ahead. Over 100 yards ahead of Mel Gray of the Cardinals. Charlie Joyner, John Stallworth, some big names. Steve Largent. Wesley Walker, Tony Hill of Dallas, Steve Watson for Denver. Those are all pretty big name players. You see some big names in there putting up some yards. So, okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the Bucs. We'll wrap it up, and then we'll talk about the point spread for next week. Okay, let's take a look at their offense. Do they have anybody injured, first and foremost? No, unfortunately, no one is injured on the offensive side. Doug Williams, he tore us up with his legs. He didn't throw for a ton of yards, but everything he threw was accurate, and he had a couple touchdowns in that game. We did not get any turnovers, so he played really well. 322 yards rushing. And, he was really tough to stop. That's going to be the key. Jerry Eckwood is their main running back. I can't remember what he did against us. I can't remember if it's a big game or not. There's Ricky Bell, their fullback. Jimmy Giles, their tight end. Kevin House leading the team in receptions. But Isaac Higgins has a team lead in touchdowns with 5. Receiving, you take a look there at their offensive line, which is not great. Everybody's under 80. And then if you look at the backups here, anything of note, this Gordon Jones, 9 receptions, 140 yards, and a touchdown. So he's been pretty solid as like a third wide receiver. All right, let's take a look at their defense. Now, they do have 2 injuries here. Dave Stalls is out for the season, and Randy Crowder will miss the start against us, their defensive tackle, who is the best defensive lineman they have, according to the game. What that does do, with Dave Stalls being injured as well, it gets Leroy Selman into the lineup. You may remember, as you can see here, he did not start, has not started all season. He must have came in relief of the injury to Randy Crowder. or Dave Stalls perhaps. And nonetheless, he will get his first start of the season. Otherwise, yeah, this is a pretty solid team. Looks like they only have one guy with 2 interceptions. That's Neil Colsey. And then their backup. For their backup, how do they, if they're only starting 3 linebackers, how do they have 4 linebackers making tackles? Is it a 3-4 defense? Wait, oh no, it's 4-3. That's weird. I don't know why that is. But Cecil Johnson putting up some pretty good numbers there. Okay, let's look at the special teams because they are special guys. Garo Yepremian. Hey, this son of a bitch, Garo Yepremian, tried to kick a field goal from 30 to 39 yards against us on the final play, which would have really screwed up the over-under. And we made some notes. What is the Jets head coach said? We were taking tickets. We took some tickets on Garo Yepremian, and we will remember that as he tried to pull one on us there. So his field goal percentage is only 54%, but he has made a long of 55. That's kind of impressive, actually. And their punter is Tom Blanchard with the airbrushed helmet. He's had 22 punts this year, 47.4 yards. That's pretty damn good. A 62-yard punt is his long on the season. So there you go. There is your Bucks. As we flip back to the Lions here. So let's go ahead and close the book here for Week 7's over-under and point spread. The over-under is 42, which is the highest it's been all season. I believe we've gone over 42 every week, other than the week where we shut out the Packers when they didn't have their quarterback. So I feel like the over-under is probably going to be over unless there's an injury. Now the point spread is 1.5, which it was 7.5 when we played the game versus the Bucks 2 weeks ago. So now that we're at home, it's only 1.5 points. And I don't know if that is enough for us to stay with them. This is just my advice on how we've been playing. We did manage to stay in step with the Rams all game, despite not being able to run the ball. I don't know how we're going to do against their defense. I guess they do have some injuries, right? So that's in our favor. So, I mean, I'm going to say we should be able to, we could win this ball game. We very well could win the ball game, but also I could see the Buccaneers racking it up against us. So I guess this is a tough one for you guys to pick. So good luck with that. I don't know what else to say. I feel like we're going to keep it close. I think we definitely can win, and I'm sure we're going to go over, right? Unless there's an injury. So that's going to do it for this week. We're going to come back this Sunday, play our second game against the Buccaneers. Don't forget about our contest. The Time Travel Tuesday video is right here. If you have lasted this long in this video, why are you not joining it? Get in on it, win something. Hell, I don't care if you turn around and sell it. That's up to you, man. It's a fun contest. If we get 2 more subscribers, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. If we get 2 more subscribers, I will add a prize to the giveaway for tomorrow. So, okay, that's going to do it. So I'll be back tomorrow with the Time Travel Tuesday contest. Otherwise, we'll see you next Sunday. Until then, everyone, have a great day.